What did you see, Spence, on those back-to-back threes you hit late in the fourth quarter?
When that ball was outletted to Kyrie, Kyrie kind of threw it ahead to me. I saw guys in the paint and just shot it with confidence. Second one was a little bit more simple. I think obviously the first one kind of, takes a little bit to hit. Second one's just a swing. So, PJ caught the corner pass from Luka. Kyrie. Sorry, Kyrie made the corner pass to PJ. PJ just swing, and I was wide open. So that one you just step up and knock it down, live with the result.
How did you guys turn this thing around? Because you had more turnovers in the third quarter than you had made field goals.
Yeah, that was bad. We're a very resilient team. We believe in the group that we have. We think we have enough talent on both the offensive and defensive sides to make a run against any team. And it was just all about kind of staying together in that moment.
What does it feel like to be in the midst of that when it does feel like everything's going wrong, when you keep looking up and it's another turnover, another free throw? How do you stay grounded?
Just keeping an eye on a big goal. We wanted to go to Vegas, obviously. So shout out to the NBA for the Cup game and adding that, extra layer of competitiveness. We didn't want to let the game completely slip away. From there, then it's just one play at a time.
How much were you focusing on the Vegas implications? Obviously, you said you were aware of it. Were you, were you looking at the standings? Did you know what would happen with a win? And
we didn't know everything, but we knew obviously to a degree because of the New Orleans win that if we won, we had a pretty good chance. So, approaching the game with that mindset. And again, shout out to the NBA for adding another layer of competitiveness in, November, December. And so we really didn't want to let the game get away. Like I've seen games in the past that are early in November, December, stuff like that, and you maybe have a bad third quarter, you just say, you know what, we got a road trip coming up. Like, it is what it is. Obviously, we're playing for something meaningful, and that didn't happen tonight.
You've been on different teams before. Do you see this team kind of embracing adversity? You guys have dealt with injuries, close losses. Tonight was a roller coaster. Have you seen this team kind of evolve in real time?
Definitely. I think everybody's watching it, right? I think, at the end of the day, to win a championship, we're going to need to be blessed with health, and we're going to have to get a core group that kind of gets to coalesce and grow together and get better, because we can't solely rely on depth, but especially getting through the season, that's par for the course. You're going to need that.
Spencer, how are you different this time around, physically, mentally, as a teammate here with the Mavericks? How are you different now?
I don't know. That was a very good question. That was a very good question. Obviously, a lot of bad stuff happened to me, but I don't think it really changed me as a person. I would say probably not, also because I'm a little bit older too. If all that bad stuff had happened and I was 19, 20, just getting into the league, I'd probably be a little more jaded. The funny thing is, when you're a little bit older, you kind of sometimes see the punch, and then sometimes you still see the punch and get knocked out. So, that's kind of what happened. But I don't think it, changed necessarily who I am as a teammate. I think, the one thing about the Mavs that I've loved and appreciated from day one, it's just the camaraderie, and I've spoken to it before. I think J-Kid does a great job of communication, which has a trickle-down effect of guys, knowing their roles and, being better teammates because of it. And so it's a pleasure to be around, friends.
You said that doesn't change you as a teammate, but what are some of the lessons learned, or how did that affect you personally?
I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I'm somebody that likes to go out on my own sword, so I'll deal with the consequences of whatever it is as long as I feel like I did the right thing or what was true to me. I feel like I did that. I got basically destroyed for it in terms of character and some pieces of legacy. And obviously, again, I'm not a Hall of Fame or anything like that. But in terms of what I had built, which was a pretty solid starting career in the NBA. And so you take it on the chin. I didn't do anything wrong. Still feel that way to this day. But it's nothing you can dwell on. You move forward. The past is the past. You keep going. And like I said, every experience from after that, Lakers, Mavs, et cetera, and whatever is in the future, I'm supremely grateful for. I love my time there. I love my time here, as I've always said. And, you keep pushing.
Do you feel like this season, especially these last 2 to 3 weeks, getting back the reputation that you should have?
I mean, again, right? Like it's tough to say. You don't even know if I'm gonna be playing when we're fully healthy. I signed on to help a team win a championship in whatever the form that is, whether that's big bro, or whether that's 20 points, or whether that's 10 assists, or guarding Ja Morant, or anything in between, right? And like I said, I think playing meaningful basketball at this stage in your career is probably the most you can ask for. I've had a ton of fun. Obviously, I want to stay in the rotation. Who wouldn't? But you understand things come with it. Like that's the league, and that's being on a talented team and understanding all that. But again, like my focus is being here and trying to help the team win, actually, a cup championship and a real championship. Yeah.
Resiliency. I see your shirt says "Proud Dad."
Yeah.
Older, how will you kind of instill that into them?
Oh man, Proud Dad's actually Theo Penson's brand. So shout out to another Mav. That's my dog. So supporting the family. And I think I have 2 boys. I think one thing that you notice growing up as a young man, like you're not gonna really be given much. I think they'll obviously have a leg up because of who their dad was, but at the same time, like you want them to experience getting knocked down and getting up. Like you want them to be resilient. You want them to have good character. You want them to not quit and all of those stuff. So, in a lot of ways, when the time comes, I actually have to be kind of hands off, It's just one of those situations where you never let them die, but you're going to have to let them suffer a little bit. And, it may or may not be popular, I don't know, but I'd rather have, like, great men than guys I just carried.
Back to the game, how do you win a game like this against a team that won 6 in a row and you turn the ball over 25 times?
Yeah. Obviously the free throws helped. But again, like we're resilient. We're a group that genuinely believes we can win any game. And like I said, the extra layer of competitiveness of the cup for sure. So, we didn't let go of the rope. But just overall, like we believe any given night we got the best player on the floor. Any given night we got the best closer on the floor, and those are 2 different people, right? We might have the best shooter on the floor, which is the third person, the best lineup of rim protection, which is 2 other people, right? I'm, naming people that, and then maybe one of the more versatile defenders in the league, which is a different person altogether. So, we've got a lot of people, man, and we believe we can win.
Spencer, go ahead.
I know there's still more work to do, but what would a cup championship mean for this team?
I think, just building. And I ain't gonna lie, I mean, obviously they paying, so. Hey, listen, I'm playing for free this year.
Spencer, so with your first stint with the Mavs, you had that stretch after the new year, hit a couple of game winners. Tonight you're hitting some big threes.
Yeah.
I know the roster is super different from what you had there in 2022, but what about return, and is there a sense of you're more comfortable? What about this return has been so beneficial for you in this early season so far?
Yeah, no, I mean, definitely comfortable, familiar with, how to play with Luka and Kai. And again, we're a great team. And as far as shots like that, I described it before, like all you're trying to do in those tight moments or whatever is make the right decision. And if you trust your work and you're genuinely trying to do the right thing, then it's a make or miss. And so I think, some guys get flustered or whatever, all that other stuff. At the end of the day, I know how hard I've worked, and I'm trying to make the right decision. So you step up and shoot, or you pass it, or whatever. It may be a turnover, maybe a missed shot, but I'm not doing that for anything other than trying to win the game. I'm not doing that for a flashy pass or for a heroic shot or anything of that nature. It's just, I saw the game. Like even the tougher 3, which was the one in transition, Kai kicked it ahead. I saw that, obviously if I press the issue to the lane, that, there was rim protection down there, and it could be a forced shot. Are you going to get the call? Maybe, maybe not. And Ja was kind of trailing me, and he wasn't really in a position to block it. So you step up and shoot it. I didn't shoot it for any other reason than it would be, beneficial to our team. Was fortunate enough to make it.
And you briefly touched on it, kind of the reality of when this team's not full, when the team is fully healthy, how you said you might you might not know if you're going to be in the rotation or not. How motivating is that? Is that hard to know? What's going through your head when you're kind of having that thought sitting up here?
Oh, it's definitely tough, but you knew that coming in, right? So while I have my minutes, you try to do the best you can, and then if not, I mean, obviously, we got a great OG in Smooth, you know what I'm saying, Markieff Morris, sorry, that I could be over there with and learning from and talking to and trying to, drop gems on the young fellas the same way he does, even coaching me up, and we only a couple years apart.
For sure. Like with you saying you kind of knew that coming in, what was the idea in your head that the Mavericks conveyed to you that, okay, Spencer, this is what we want you to be when you signed that deal?
Well, I mean, it was just that nothing was promised. You know what I'm saying? That we had a super talented group. You get what you earn, which is, all you can ask for.
Appreciate it, Spencer.
Thanks, Spencer.
Appreciate it.